we teach you how to read a homeowner within the first 10 seconds of meeting them.
If you want to be a profitable and successful roofing company, you have to reinvest in your people, in yourself. You have to take part of your budget, which needs to be reinvesting by taking them through courses, coaching, mentorship, whatever you want to call it. So we have Chuck Thokey on today.
Thank you for having us on. I mean, with Top Rep, we do all types of sales training. We are one of our biggest parts of what we train is the sales leaders. You know, when we come in, we love to train sales reps, but we want it to be sustainable. We want that training to last, not just last, a couple of weeks after we leave. So we like to come in and actually talk and work with the sales leadership, whether it's the owner or if they actually have a sales manager on staff. But we also work right directly with the sales reps, the phone rooms, the marketing teams, that kind of thing, so that they understand how these other companies that we are working with, how they've scaled so fast. If anybody has brought up, Top Rep on any of the social media, you'll see how many of these companies scale so quickly, just because of the trainings that we have. We just simply want to hand that over to you. It's like handing you the keys of the Corvette.
You got me excited already. I'm ready to sign up. I'm not even a roofing contractor, right? The program that you've already set up, how did you get started? Did you have a roofing company before? And do you also coach other contracting companies other than the roofing specialty?
Yeah, so I didn't start in roofing. I actually started in baths. And before that, I started in one-day baths, the acrylic baths.
Oh, baths. Okay, sorry. I didn't.
So, I mean, I didn't really even come from roofing. I've been in roofing now for about 10 years. And the company that I started with is the largest in the residential space now, and which is Able and Mr. Roof. And so they about 200 million with that. When I left, I started coaching some very small companies, which wasn't easy for me to do. When you have a per location budget of $1.5 million for marketing, and then you go to a very small company, and my very first client, this was a long, long time ago, but my very first client, when I sat down with him, I asked him, I said, "So how much do you do?" And he says, 800,000. I go, no, for a year. He goes, 800,000. I'm like, oh my gosh. We're used to, 800,000 a month. And so, working with hundreds of companies now all over the United States, Canada, and Mexico, we have a very wide range of our client base. But that's where I came from. When people say, "Hey, did you own a roofing company?" I have been an owner of multiple roofing companies in the past, or partial owner. But for the most part, that's where most of my experience comes from, is the hundreds of companies that I work with across the United States, as well as, really bringing a company like that and helping them become the nation's largest in the residential space. And then from there, I've built the largest, teams in home improvement. It's not just the roofing space, but in baths and HVAC, windows. I've helped to build some of the largest teams in the residential home services space.
How do you market to these industries?
Luckily, I haven't had to. They have, and not to be arrogant, but they've come to me, and I've been very blessed with that.
So inbound marketing.
Yeah. So, a lot of they see me on social media. But like this morning, I had a very, very large franchise give me a call, and they said, "Hey, we heard you through such and such, and he says that you've done an amazing job with them, and we want you to do the same thing with us." And so, again, it's word of mouth. And so we really haven't had to really market ourselves. But that being said, social media is marketing, right? So I'm sure a lot of these folks have seen me on social media. I have not paid for an ad other than for our events. Now, events, yes, we pay for ads, but for our, a lot of our coaching. Now it's they see me on Facebook. I haven't paid for an ad, but they see what we do, how we do it. We're very free with the information. Like I say, information is free. It's the implementation that will cost you some money. Now I'm probably going to get 15 text messages here or messages on Facebook on how to close a deal. But again, we're free with the information. We want to help people out. There's a lot of clients or companies that'll come to us and they don't really need us. They just need help on one deal and say, hey, no problem. You're going to remember us for the next time that you really need that coaching or training. And so here's how we would do that. So again, we can't do it with everybody because we'd be more busy just giving away free information, but we do as much as we can just so that we can give back to the industry. But we just love to watch the success stories more than anything.
Probably to add a little context to what you're saying, because let's say Andy Elliott. Are you familiar with in the car sales industry? Okay, so Andy Elliott's program, he coaches and teaches amazing car salespeople. But I think more importantly is what you provide, what he provides, what Grant Cardone provides, what all these coaches, leaders, mentors provide is not just the exact words to use. You provide them with added confidence. You provide them with the details necessary by explaining to them that success is not just, just say these words. It's tonality. It's the emotional resilience to come back after 10 no's, and then after 8 touch points with that particular client, then you convert them.
We teach you how to read a homeowner within the first 10 seconds of meeting them. Again, when we look at that, it's their mannerisms. It's, when we look at how to read that homeowner, it's also throughout your survey, getting to know them just within that first, even in the first 10 minutes, whether it's 10 seconds, 10 minutes, you'll get a chance to know who they are. They're going to show you who they are within those first few seconds. Are they a director? Are they socializer, relator, or thinker? And how to deal with those. We let people understand that if they're very fast paced, they're going to be a socializer or director. If they're slow, it's going to be a relator or thinker. And if they're very open and very free with the information, it's going to be a socializer or relator. If they're very reserved, then that means that they're going to be a director or a thinker. But when people say, oh man, I had a director, then you better have closed it, because directors don't shop. They're very decisive and they can be closed very easily. And so we teach and train, but you're going to know within the first couple of minutes exactly who you're dealing with, and exactly how to close that person. Same thing with whether it's a socializer. Many times the socializers are sales reps. We love to socialize, and socializers buy before they're sold. So they're also the same types of people that will have buyer's remorse overnight. And so what do you understand about them? What should you watch out for these people? And just because you're dealing with a thinker does not mean when they say they need to think about it, doesn't mean that they really need to think about it, but they are the person that if they really do, they're going to let you know. But that thinker, that person really needs the information. And so if you understand that you're dealing with a thinker, if you're dealing with an accountant, an engineer, something like that, then they need that information. They don't want the brochure. They want the information. So we teach you how to deal with any of those on the spot. We like to work with a lot of these phone rooms. And when we start working with phone rooms, the first thing that we do is teach them how to qualify a lead properly. With sales reps, if we qualified a lead as much as they would like to, I wouldn't need them. I could send a $12 an hour admin if we qualified them the way that the sales rep would want us to qualify. But truthfully, when you qualify a lead, you just want to know, do I have 60 to 90 minutes to present to them? Am I dealing with all homeowners? And do I have a need that I can satisfy? Or do they have a need that I can satisfy? And that's really how you qualify that appointment.
Any company, if they follow your specific strategy and the division of labor, guaranteed to win.
You are guaranteed to win. And it's hard for a lot of people to say that, but if they do exactly what we ask them to do, and this is the same stuff as what we call the Big 12 is doing, the 12 largest Yeah, the 12 largest home services organizations are doing the exact same thing as what we would train you to do. And the reason why is because it works.
Operations, it's like in roofing, they forget that they're a business first.
Yes, they do.
And whatever it is that they're specializing in, unless they're focused, heavily focused and obsessed with profits, what are they doing? That what other than profits is the ultimate judge of success? It's not sales. You could sell 100 million,
Yeah.
right? There's plenty of businesses that have sold billions of dollars and go out of business. And it has to do with no profits. Do you also help coach, teach, mentor leadership or CEOs?
We do. We do.
C-suites?
Absolutely. We also have a very large CFO that will help with the back office. So, I mean, we want to put people that are specialized in front of you, depending on what it is that you need. I mean, if any coach says, yeah, I could train you on any part of your business, keep looking, because we all specialize in something.
Yeah.
And whether it's marketing, so we have the ability to have a marketing coach. For me, I can deal with the leadership all the way down through sales leadership and into your sales process. And then, of course, we have folks that can help you with your back office and any of that type of stuff as well. So, I mean, that is stuff that we want to make sure that you have access to the best and most up-to-date information. You're going to find so many coaches in the industry that are just unemployed advice givers. They really don't know what else to do. So they're going to go out and they want to be coaches. We see it all the time. And I even get asked a lot of times, I want to get in, I want to coach. Well, what have you done? Well, I've been selling for a year. I can't put you in front of anybody.
Selling for a year.
Yeah. But again, we want to make sure that because our name is on the line, and as many distributors and very large companies that we work with, our reputation means everything to us. So we'll never put anybody with you that hasn't done what it is you're looking to do, or that aren't still doing it.
Yeah, for the companies that will watch a video of interviews of a company where their first year they did right off the bat $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, I have to tell people, just because the Google Business Profile algorithm blessed them with success, okay, please don't confuse luck for brains.
Yes.
Okay, or luck for skill set. Because if you had a great year, that's and I'm just guessing here, 0.001% of all businesses that launch within the first 12 months that will have those numbers. So, guys, Jim Rohn says, in order to be successful, you can't be the same person you are today. Along this journey, you have to become that person. And the only way to become that person is through mentorship, leaders, coaches like yourself, like Chuck, okay? His programs, he's done it. He's done it for many, many people, okay? Yeah. So it's about the person you need to become in order to reach the goals that you were born to get, or the results that, it's about, we seek fulfillment, and we need to become a different person. We need to become the improved, the highest and best version. And it's not going to be by ourselves. It's going to be talking with people that have already done it. So people might say, and they might, okay, well, and you don't have to give any numbers. It's none of anybody's business, but, it's XYZ number of dollars, and we just can't afford that. Well, let me just tell you, because you're thinking with today's dollars, you're thinking with today's skill sets. But if you need to become something other than what you are right now in order to reach the numbers that you were destined to have, then you need to do the behavior, you need to do those skill sets that those goals are already that need to be done in order to achieve those goals. So you need to live that life now. the confidence that a $100 million company has, well, you need to somehow get to that. And the only way to do it is by going through those programs, like Chuck's programs. And what do you think about that?
Well, I will tell you, a lot of when people say, oh, I want to be the, 20 million, 50 million, $100 million organization, none of them got to that point without a mentor, a coach, or somebody. And they went out, sought these folks out, and they, I some of my favorite clients, I am one of 3 coaches that they use, not sales coaches, but they are bringing in people from outside. And I was just talking with one not too long ago, and he says, look, I know what I'm doing, but I'm waiting for a coach to also make sure that I'm not doing something stupid, that just when I think I'm doing everything right, I'll have a coach say, hey, you need to watch out for this. And again, he's or she, whoever, they're actually asking the right questions. And a lot of the questions that I get asked, especially from these larger organizations, you can tell that I'm not the first coach they've hired. That they're learning from all their mistakes, and when they've gone out and gotten the Facebook king because they went out and spent $100,000 in Facebook ads because
That hurts.
Yeah, and they realized that, well, that guy does a lot of car sales, but he doesn't do anything in my market or understand anything in my trade. And so when we come in, I mean, you're going to get roofing, you're going to get baths and windows. That's just what we do. You'll never see me talking to a car salesman. I can teach them how to sell cars all day long, but I love to stay in my lane. Mm-hmm. That's where our success stories come from. Success stories don't come from the coach that used to do something in some other or some other category, and to come over and do that. Success stories just don't come from that. Yeah.
Is the storm restoration different than the retail approach? Do you segment that completely?
We do, but we work both sides of it. I mean, I've been a VP of a very large storm organization, as well as been a head of sales in the nation's largest retail organization. So, it encompasses both. I will tell you that very few sales reps can do both. They either love to work with insurance companies and go down that road, but to get a retail guy or gal that will work insurance, it's like pulling teeth. They're like, you what? I got to go back. I'm not going back. So again, it's 2 different types of sales reps many times. Now, I'm not saying there's not unicorns out there, but I mean, there are definitely, it's a different type of sale. So, when we teach and we train this, we are also the largest organization that teaches turning an insurance job into retail. Nobody teaches and works with more clients than we do on teaching them how to switch it over to retail. And it's an easy thing to do when you're working with somebody. You go so far down that insurance path and then switch them over to retail because they want something special, And once you understand that this isn't a giveaway, that I'm not just going to sell them their deductible, that I'm going to sell them a whole package in which I'm doing something right for the homeowner. If I can show them how they don't have to keep switching their roof every storm, then I've done something that I should have done for that homeowner instead of just putting on the shingles that are going to get damaged in the same storm. If I can give them IR shingles, if I can get them into a composite of some sort, the right type of metal, those are lifetime products. And we want to teach a lot of these storm companies how to switch it over. And once you switch it over, it's fully retail. You can build it in a couple of weeks, and you collect it in a couple of weeks. I don't have to wait.
Yeah, no, that's great. So let's say you've got a company, the owner's been around for, let's say, a year or two, and maybe they have somebody else that they have. So maybe it's 2-3 person organization, first 2 years or first year, and they're excited. they watch you in a video and they're like, you know what, I'm ready to do it. I've set money aside or either borrowed or whatever the heck they had to do to join your program, but they don't have anybody to send to you, and they don't want to just go there because they don't see themselves in that role, because they want to play a different role. They want to invest in sending you 3 people, and they're going to build the organization. You know, they've been transformed by the message that you have, and they truly believe in it, and they're aligned and they're receptive to your message. How or where would they go to find these 3 people, or how many of the number of people that they want to send to you? They're committed.
So they can just go to topreptraining.com, and at the top they can click on I want to talk to a coach, and they'll be connected right to us.
Yes, but what I mean is, how would they find these people, like, to hire them?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what, because I think that's the hardest thing is, even if, let's say, the person or the company has the money because they believe in the importance of your training,
yeah,
but they need those human beings that
right.
they can send to you.
So
right.
I hear this all the time that I can't find sales reps. I can't find a sales manager. And I'll even just blurt it right out. Anytime I need to hire anybody, I use Pivotal Recruiting every time. It's Matt Snow and his team.
Let me write this on. Pivotal Recruiting.
Yeah.
And you said Matt Snow.
Yep. Matt Snow. They do an amazing job. And Ignite with Jessica Stahl does a good job on recruiting as well. When you look at recruiting people, it isn't hard. We even show how to do mass recruiting. If you're looking for 5 or 6 or 7, even 20 sales reps, we have a program that will teach you. You don't have to come to us and we're going to charge you so much. No, we want to teach you how to do it. We're going to hand it to you so that you can take it, run with it. If you have any questions, we'll answer them for you. But helping to understand how to do this, we learn from a lot of the folks, even at like Microsoft and them. You might think it's funny, but they do cattle calls, and that's the very first interview to find out how many people are even going to show up. Then we give them a very nice presentation. We show them exactly what we do, sell them on what we do, and then we bring them in one-on-one. So it's not a secret. That's something that we do. We don't mind handing over the keys to that and everything that we do, even with our own organizations, on how we hire within. We had a company out of Georgia that we just hired, 15 sales reps, and I mean, they're doing extremely well. So when people say, "Oh, I can't find anybody," even with the sales manager, with sales management or any type of management, you're going to want to use a recruiting service. And
this is where I want to kind of get into a little bit more detail. When you mentioned that a company like Microsoft would have cattle calls, mm-hmm. is the workflow there where they would contact a company like Pivotal, a company like Ignite, and then get bodies to those chairs or those video meetings, and then that's where the process begins? I like to be very detailed. It's important that we give the right process, because it's important, right? Because to you do this every day and you're great at what you do, but I want, like, the people that are much smaller, that don't ever believe that this is attainable. We're going to break it down so well that they're going to be able to follow these steps. So I'm thinking, okay, as soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm contacting these other people and be like, hey, break it down for me, right? Well, and I'll let them give those details. But is that how it would work?
Well, so if you're going to have any type of group interview or anything like that, I would just go through Indeed. What we do is we go to Indeed, we put the ad out there, and at the very bottom, you have the ability for anybody that's interested. They say, hey, I'm interested. Here's my resume. and you look through it very quickly. I'll look at less than 3 to 4 seconds at any resume. I'm looking for certain things. And then I say, hey, I want to send them a message. That's the template I want to use, and send. And I'm on to the next one. So, because I don't have time to even look through the resumes. And then once we get on that interview, now I got to find out, these are all the people that are interested in the position. Now I'm going to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly of the position, and I'll end up with maybe 10. And I let them know that what I need you to do is put your name and your phone number and your email address and where you're from, because a lot of time I'm hiring for different locations for that company, and they'll put it in there. I already have it, but I want to see them do it. If I ask you to do something, I want to see if you can do it. And then when it's time for that interview, if it's a sales interview, we're going to do a series of questions. But a good mentor of mine, Brian Gottlieb, this is his idea. And he says, if you want to do a really good sales interview, send them a 2-sentence script and say, when you come in, I want you to memorize that 2-sentence script. And that's just going to tell you, are they even willing to learn a script? So, that's something that is going to be very important to you as well.
So does that slightly overlap with what you mentioned about how sometimes you'll hire for other companies? Does that slightly overlap with the other 2 companies that you had mentioned earlier? Or would you then get it from them?
No. So if I'm going to use a recruiting service, then we bring them straight in. Because what's nice with Pivotal is that they are going to do the first interview. So then they're going to send them straight in. They don't send me the phone number. They know what my schedule looks like. And he says, hey, I got an interview for you. They'll be there tomorrow at 10. And they have a really good track record of actually having them show up. But we use them if we just need 1 or 2 sales reps. But mostly if I need a sales manager, an ops manager, a CFO, something like that, we go straight to Pivotal.
Chuck, your system is so all-encompassing. I had no idea before I got on this call how big the scale was that you're operating in.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could see why Cody, which is from Integris Roofing, the person who told me about you, and he was just so adamant about how happy he was and how he credited you with the systems that he implemented in his business that are no doubt, he himself told me in a video of how great it was. And that's what led me to seek you out and find you. And, I'm just glad that you're able to be on here and talk about it, because this really breaks down how attainable it is for companies. If that's really what they want to do, is to grow and be successful and really put a dent into this universe in the roofing business, I think there's no way of getting there without the processes that you have, really.
Yeah.
And I would say start with your processes, start with your programs. And once they go, do they ever, how often, once they go through your program, do they need refreshers, or do they need to come back for updates and more information, or even follow-ups for accountability?
That's the beauty of what we do, is we have events. We have 2 events a year. And after they go through coaching, they don't have to go through coaching. They can go straight to the events like Cody did. But, they want to come back over and over and over. Most of the companies that we have at our top rep events, we have one in the spring, usually in February, March timeframe. And then we just got done with one here in Texas, in New Braunfels. We just got done with one there in August, and we sell out fast, but people bring their teams over and over and over again. And that's their refresher. Not only that is they get to compete, they get into these things called dogfights, which is because we're top rep, top gun. So, we call them dogfights. All it is, they have the ability of competing by pitching other professionals in the industry, and they get rated based on their pitch, and they get to watch everybody else's pitch in their group. and they'll look around and say, man, I like that. I want to do it like that. This guy, he was okay. And that guy was really good. But that guy right there, I need to learn what he's doing. And again, they get to see that over and over and over again. And by the time they leave, they're unstoppable. But we've engineered this event. And just because of what Jim Johnson and I have been through in our careers, all the boot camps we've been to, we wanted to take those boot camps and say, hey, this is all the stuff they're missing. And we put it in there, and that's why it's exploded so fast.
I almost feel after this conversation that the word top rep, it doesn't give you enough credit to what you do for them, as to how important it is for them to do it, because you are much more than just top rep. I mean, it is huge.
Yes.
It's recruiting, it's operations, it's marketing, it's really the micro level of how super, $100 million companies would operate. You're basically revealing, you're lifting the veil of mystery out of what they normally hold for themselves and don't want to share. You're giving it to them.
Right.
Through that. I think that's great, amazing value. How would you describe in like an elevator pitch of what the benefits are when they hire your company?
So they get the keys to the car, really. They when they come in, whether they're going through Top Reps boot camp, or they come in for coaching, or they have us out to their organization to do a kickoff, launch, or a training, we're giving you information that you cannot get anywhere else in this industry. The information that a lot of these folks get, and they can have 4 or 5 other coaches come in, and then when we come in, we sit down in front of them and give them everything that they need. It's something that they have not, I can promise you, they've never seen before.
Here's the question that everybody wants, because I'm curious as hell. What are some of the companies that have implemented their programs that have just catapulted them to crazy success?
I mean, companies like United Contractors, Shamrock, Able. I mean, these, if they're the who's who, it's usually, I mean, we've got companies like Eldridge and O'Leary. I mean, there's so many that we can name off. Then you get into a lot of the big franchises like Bathfitter, Rebath, Luxury Bath. A lot of the HVAC companies, like Horizon, which they're one of the largest HVAC companies in the nation on the East Coast, that have brought us in and allowed us to change what they do, increase the efficiency. But for the most part, what we want to do is teach them how to be better.
I think the companies that you mentioned are so damn big that they're beyond anybody's radar. It's like they fly above in the freaking stratosphere.
Inside of the roofing industry, really, there are not too many that we haven't at least touched.
Of course, or influence, or yeah, for sure. Whether they've gone to it, I mean, they've definitely watched the video content that you have out there, right? Yeah. In social media, that's for sure. And what they're doing right now is they're putting their money together, saving on the side, because it's just a matter of time till they finally decide, look,
right,
we need to go see Chuck, right?
Yeah.
Chuck, thank you so much. Roofing companies, if they really want to get to the next level, there is no getting there unless they go through you. So how can they get a hold of you? They need to talk to you. They need to email you, smoke signals. They need to somehow get a hold of you. So how do they do that?
The easiest way to get a hold of us is through our website, which is topreptraining.com. But you can also get on any of the social media and send us a message, and I will get it. And I try to respond back within 24 hours.